senior, senior, longevity, longevity, caregiving, caregiving, acute, acute, enrollment, enrollment, suburb, suburb, enroll, enroll, segregation, segregation, predominantly, predominantly, steep, steep. Seniors are an increasing share of the population. Americans 65 and older will make up more than 20% of the population by 2030, up from 17% in 2022, according to census projections. And with advances in longevity, seniors of the future are likely to require longer care. Federal spending on Medicare is expected to swell, but the change will be felt economy-wide. A smaller share of the population will be working age, and more may drop out of the workforce for caregiving responsibilities. There are already healthcare worker shortages, which worsened during the pandemic and are particularly acute in long-term care. Today, as white students make up decreasing percentages of the population in public school enrollments, Black and Latino families in many suburbs increasingly are enrolling their children in schools where patterns of racial and economic segregation are emerging. Many of those resegregated schools face limited resources and more teacher shortages than predominantly white schools. During the past decade, the nation's 25 largest suburban areas saw a doubling of the number of districts that are 90 to 100% non-white, according to a UCLA Civil Rights Project report. 30% of the nation's entire public school enrollment is in those largest 25 suburban areas. In 10 years, those suburban schools saw a steep drop of about 850,000 white students, and an increase of more than 1 million new Latino students. Beforehand, beforehand, etiquette, etiquette, split, split, evenly, evenly, accommodate, accommodate, petty, petty. Group dinners or vacations can sour when it's time to divide up the bill. Apps like Splitwise and Tab make it easier, but set expectations beforehand, etiquette experts say. A question as simple as "we're splitting this evenly, right?" can do the trick. If you choose expensive items, offer to cover the tip or after-dinner drinks. And if you consume less, it's okay to pay less. Also, accommodate people who prefer cash or checks, and avoid looking petty by requesting dollar amounts, not totals calculated to the penny. Aboard, aboard. Turbulence, turbulence. En route, en route. Divert, divert. Deceased, deceased. Cardiac arrest, cardiac arrest. One person died and at least 30 others were injured aboard a Singapore Airlines flight that encountered sudden extreme turbulence while en route from London to Singapore. The Boeing 777-300ER, with 211 passengers and 18 crew on board, was diverted to Bangkok, the airline said. The deceased was a 73-year-old Brit who had a history of heart problems and likely died from cardiac arrest, and 7 of the injured were in critical condition, according to a Bangkok airport official. The airline said 18 people had been hospitalized. The turbulence occurred at 37,000 feet over Irrawaddy Basin, an area largely located in Myanmar, according to Singapore Airlines. Funeral. Funeral. Aviation. Aviation. Succeed. Succeed. Complicate. Complicate. Ambiguous. Ambiguous. Iran began funeral events for Ibrahim Raisi, its former president, who died in a helicopter crash. A technical failure caused the crash that killed Raisi and Iran's foreign minister, the state media reported. Images of the crash site show that Raisi's helicopter was a model developed for the Canadian military in the 1960s. Iran struggles to update its aviation fleet because of sanctions. Raisi was a candidate to succeed Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, 85, as Iran's supreme leader. His death complicates a difficult search for the next ruler. Pandemic-era college kids are facing a job market that doesn't want them. Even the best of students are facing an endless web of job applications, ambiguous timelines, and countless rejections. On the surface, the U.S. job market is strong, but getting on a path to a well-paid job in finance, consulting, and technology is more difficult, with greater competition for fewer entry-level positions.